2 seconds. We're live. You're
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Momo Nomo, the home of the Happy Apostate, and Latter Daily Digest, the home of the other Happy Apostate.
We're live.
We are always excited to be in Tim Rathbone's living room. Appropriately named Tuesdays with Tim. This is a very special night. This is the 1-year anniversary of Tuesdays with Tim. Yay!
Yay!
And we are so excited to, well, I'm excited to be a part of it because I wasn't here a year ago, but I am now, and I'm trying to make up for it. Tim, thank you for providing your living room for us for an entire year.
You're welcome.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about doing this for a year. We're also going to talk about the list of, Jane, remind me, Paul Toscano's list of
50 questions for podcasters.
50 questions for podcasters.
It's
That
like a
should be fun.
litmus test to see how Christian or non-Christian people are.
You know what else will be fun is I just ate a hallucinogenic mushroom.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm curious to see if it does anything. So if I start looking up into the sky and raising my hands, and you'll know that I'm hallucinating, but I don't think it's going to be enough to do that. It's kind of a microdose. But anyway, we are certainly excited to have all of you who are in the listening audience and in the chat. We love you all. You're an amazing community. If you wouldn't mind liking and sharing this, as you know, is always my role to do the commercial, but that really helps us out a whole lot. We're also excited to announce that we're going to have a Halloween show next week. Is it next week? Will that be the closest to Halloween?
Yep.
Yeah.
The 28th.
Yeah. We're going to have a Halloween show. We want all of you in the chat to please dress up in costumes and then send us your picture.
Or join the show periodically.
Yeah, and we're going to try to do the same thing. So I think Gene's going to go as a hippie wearing a tie-dye shirt. That would be something new and different.
So nobody will recognize me.
And Tim, I think you need to put on a Santa Claus costume because you are perfect Santa Claus.
Let's see if I can find one.
I think Megan Connor will be joining us. She might be a little bit late. She has a rehearsal for something that she's doing, not sure, but
choir practice.
Oh, a choir practice. Gotcha. They changed it on her. So anyway, that's our evening. Tim, did anything exciting happen to you over the last week? You're just trying to decide which of the exciting things you want to talk about, right?
Yeah, he wants to talk about an exciting thing that he wants to share with people because there could be other things. Like, for all we know, he could have been arrested for running around the park naked at night and doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, that's kind of normal for Tim, though. I mean, I can't imagine he'd get arrested for that.
That's right. Just for it being History Week. And then the officer said, it's not History Week. And Tim says, for me, it's always History Week.
Always History Week.
So I'll go ahead and share
the
live streams from our show here. And I'll take us off the stage and I'll put this thing on big. And you can see in the first row, the very most popular live thing ever was when Maven did her show that was live. And then I did a true crime show, and everybody likes true crime. And look, Tim was on that, and Randy and Megan. And so that was Tuesdays with him. So that was the #1 show. 2.2 thousand views. Then
well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it's because I came on that show.
Yeah. We were going to just say Mormon crime, and then Randy said, hey, we should say Mormon true crime. And because that true is in there, probably got 50 or 60% more views.
Right.
And so anyway, Michelle Judson makes most of these covers.
She's a creative soul.
And so I
Very
want
creative.
to have them on display. And then Is Mormonism Dying is the next one, 1.3 thousand views, and has a great heartbeat at the emergency room kind of a thing in the background with all of us showing up. So it's number 1 and 2. And then General Conference Predictions, just under 1,000 views, was number 3. And then Restoration of Mormon Polygamy. Oh yeah, I like this one. It's a bed with featuring a bunch of wives, and then a picture of Brigham Young at the top. Now, I'm pretty sure Michelle nowadays would have put Tim's face on top of Brigham Young's photo on the top of that.
Wait,
Because Michelle
so
started.
are those not Tim's wives?
That's right. And then there's Patriarchy and Spiritual Abuse, which is just a plain old title. If it's so plain, I wonder if I did that one. But anyhow, and then let's see, the Gospel Topic Essays, as we'll say, 6 Ward Local Mormon Leadership and Callings, number 7, and Mother in Heaven, 8, and then 10 Damning Documents. We'll say it's 9. And then Church Security, just a week ago, is number 10.
Wow.
So
that was a cool show.
It would make sense that we have, more viewers, since we're doubled in size since a year ago. And so that would make a lot of sense. So I thought when I canceled that thing, it would show the people again, but it didn't do it.
Here we
So
are.
anyhow, that's basically the top 10. That's, hooray for Tuesdays with Tim.
All right.
Tim's anniversary. I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know, Randy, if you can see the chat, if you can highlight anybody's chats.
Well, I just want to say that when someone said that they're waiting for Randy, which I think that was you, Gene.
Yes.
I just loved that Peter said, "Oh, the great Randy Bell." What?
Nope, not the amazing Randall Bell, but the other sort of almost amazing.
No, it's the amazinger Randy. Maybe I don't have the accomplishments and all the books and all the travels and experiences.
All the tricks up your sleeve.
And that's Randy's middle name we learned tonight on Mormonish.
Oh, really? Amazing?
Yeah. Yes. No. Randy is Randy's middle name. I can't remember what his first name is.
Oh.
Well, on his book cover, he put Glenn Bell.
Good. Thank you. Yeah. Glenn is his name. Yes.
Who would choose Randy? I hate my name. I don't know what was wrong with my parents to name me just Randy, not Randall, not Randolph. Hell, I would have even taken Randolph. But no, just Randy, R-A-N-D-Y. So why Mr. Bell would choose Randy over Glenn? I don't know. I would trade my name for Glenn. Not Glenn Beck, but Glenn.
That's right. So anyhow, I was noticing people's talking about the costumes they may wear or may not.
May not.
Interesting things. Okay, so.
By the way, Clarence will be making an appearance at the Halloween show, Ms. Woozy. So just saying. Tim and his porn shoulders.
Oh, boy.
Randy does mean horny. And how did they know, by the way?
Just think you could have been named Horny C. Watts.
That's
And
true.
then you'd have wished they had named you Randy.
Well, that's kind of appropriate, I guess. But shoot, my headphones just died on me.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
So
I
there
have
was a
spare
lot of
set.
chat in our panel, and let's just introduce to everybody who Paul Toscano is.
Paul is a
And
lawyer.
We'll get to the subject you wanted for your 1-year anniversary is to talk about Paul Toscano's idea.
Yeah, Paul's a lawyer. He's a bankruptcy lawyer in Salt Lake City. He was a member of the church. I met Paul back in the 80s, 90s, before he was excommunicated. He's
Wow.
one of the September 6th. We met at Sunstone a couple of times.
Had he presented stuff by then?
Yes. Yes. He and his wife, Margaret. And yeah. Paul is still a believer in Jesus. Well, Paul was raised Catholic and then he converted to Mormonism, I believe, if I remember right. I might be wrong, but I think that he converted.
Paul's got a cool last name.
Toscano, yes.
Toscano. Yeah. Sounds very Italian to me.
Very Italian.
So here's his Facebook post.
Yes.
And just to sum up, people do podcasts and they have guests and things. And he was just wondering what people really thought about Jesus or things like that. For like full disclosure, I guess. He says, do not answer unknown because this is not a test, but a request for an opinion. If you can't answer yes, then answer no. 2 questions, 16 and 28, require more than a yes or no answer. Try to answer these as briefly as possible. So you want to say the first one?
Are you an atheist? My answer to that is yes, to all gods but mine.
Yeah, I used to be against about 2,999 gods, and now I don't believe in just one more.
Yeah.
That's why he's always saying, my God, because it's his
There you
God.
go. That's a
Right.
good point. The next question is, are you an agnostic?
No.
And so I would say that, some people say they're a theist because they believe in some sort of God, right? Whether
Right.
so it might not be a God that's in the Old Testament or New Testament or in the Book of Mormon or in anybody else's religion. And other people say, well, they use God as a placeholder for something that could be or whatever. But I think I have come to the conclusion that, similar to Tim, I'm going to not believe in anybody else's belief in a God. I'm going to have my own, and I'm not going to say whatever. But I don't know God has called me either on the phone or in my brain yet. And then, but agnostic, to me, some people think that atheist means that you are against believing in a belief in God. But we know that A means against and theist means belief in God. So you're against a belief in God. Agnostic is usually just a nicer way of saying atheist. Agnostic basically means whatever. right? I don't have a belief. I don't have a disbelief.
Right.
Well, here's what I am. I consider myself agnostic now
Yeah.
because I totally believe that there is some power that created everything. This cannot be an accident, in my humble opinion. You look at the way the trees work and the planets work, and the sun gives life to the plants. The plants give us oxygen to breathe. It all seems like an incredible creation. I thought I knew God when I was an active member of the church. I thought I knew quite a bit about him and had a close relationship with him. But now I've lost the belief in that God. So now I'm not sure.
And
I'm not
because words mean things, Gnostic means knowing. And
Right.
the A in front of it means not knowing.
Not knowing.
So anyway, and then theist is a belief in God, but I'm sure that no two people on earth believe in the same God according to everything that they can possibly imagine
Well,
about God.
when somebody tells me they believe in God, I says, "What do you mean by that symbol or that word? Explain to me what God is to you." And 9 times out of 10, they don't answer. They do not answer the question. I says, what is it to you? What is your experience with it? What does it mean to you? Because it doesn't mean the same thing. I can guarantee you, it doesn't mean the same thing to you that it does to me.
Well, and I sure as hell don't believe in the God that I learned all about as a child, that we have to know, secret handshakes and have to perform all these tricks here on the earth just right in order to be with him again. And
Yep.
for those that he turns and despises, they're cast into an outer darkness or into a lake of fire and brimstone. Now that's not a loving God. So that is not the God that I believe in.
Stephen, it's my 1 year anniversary. That's your question.
So anyway, then it says, are you a theist? But we've already basically answered that.
The answer to that
This
is
is
no.
These actually, the first 10 questions were questions for all Mormon scholars and social media influencers. And I think he means like anybody in the Mormon universe that either writes or has a podcast or TikTok or whatever. Are you a materialist? What do you think he means by that, Tim?
I don't know. So I said no.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he means by materialist. I mean, I believe that I cannot survive without all the material around me, even if my wife thinks half of it's garbage.
Well, is a
I need,
materialist?
just like the start of The Jerk from Steve Martin. All I need is this and this
This.
and this. That's all I need. And he just keeps on grabbing things. And
Yeah, I always thought a materialist, Gene, was someone who derives joy from material things rather than ethereal or spiritual things.
Yeah, that's how I see
Their
it.
form of joy is what they can accumulate here on the earth.
yeah, so I guess I don't worship things that I own or have, you know. I guess Madonna was a material girl and she was trying to say things are important. And then what's her name? The former girlfriend of Rod Taylor, Jim Taylor. Oh, where
Rod Taylor.
the musician Taylor, I think, was his name. But anyway, she wrote a song and said, "You're so vain that you'd fly on an airplane to go see the total eclipse of a sun."
Oh,
To
but
me,
yeah.
she was talking about a materialistic person.
How many?
Somebody
You
who,
just incorporated 3 songs in there. You're so vain. I'll bet you think this song is about you. Total
That's
yeah.
in the
Eclipse of the
song.
Sun and
Oh.
Material Girl.
well, I mentioned Material Girl a minute ago, and now I'm saying another there's another song that sort of reflects materialism that came to my mind.
I think that Lila Tuller is a material girl
Yes,
because I always see her coming up with new patterns for material that she creates.
yes, bolts of material, we'll say.
Yes. Yep.
So what's next, Tim?
Are you an idealist? No. I'm not an ideologue.
Yeah, I don't think I'm an ideologue.
I have no need. Eugene England was an idealist. He was my bishop for a while at BYU. Eugene is definitely an idealist. Quite frankly, I have no use for idealists in my life.
Trevor, do you have anything to say about any of these words?
Not really.
Okay.
I think from the time you were 18, you left the Mormon church, you could answer these things just like a normal person, right? You've just been a normal person.
I mean, sorry, I wasn't listening to the last bit. You're talking about like atheists and all that stuff, what the terms mean?
Yeah, you are an atheist.
Yeah. So to me, atheist means you do not believe in a God.
Yeah,
That's it.
you don't believe in a
You're
God.
you're not convinced that God exists. That's the most
Right.
clear way to put
Are
it.
you a
You're not
materialist,
convinced.
Trevor?
So I'm a materialist, but I'm like not like strict materialist. I can't remember what they call it technically. But I'm open to if someone shows something else that, isn't material that works. I'm not closed off to anything. But as far as I've seen, like only the material exists.
Yeah, it's hard to answer these questions yes and no because there are definitely.
Like I'm a, what do they call it, a philosophical naturalist or something
Yes.
like that. I think that's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
What's
Where you're
the
not like,
song? Something about blurred lines. The lines are blurred between, the different beliefs. There's no cut and dried beliefs.
Oh.
well, I think a theist has done a really good job of like poisoning the well and like putting it where an atheist means you like believe no God exists and you're against God and all this kind of stuff. Where it's like
See,
that's an anti-theist,
a
not an
theist
atheist.
a theist is like God created this clock, and every once in a while he comes in to adjust it. That's basically what a theist is.
Oh,
Well,
I
that's a
see. That
deist.
would be
That's a
deist.
deist.
Is that a
Maybe he
deist?
meant
Yeah,
deist.
a deist is someone who believes God started everything, but he
Okay.
doesn't do anything else. Is undetectable because he doesn't
Yeah, like
affect
most of
anything.
the founders
Right.
of the
Yeah,
United
yeah.
States were.
It's like
Were
what
deists.
like Albert Einstein was that
Yeah.
basically. That
Then
kind
I
of
don't even
thing.
understand number 6. So, do you believe one's
Okay.
consciousness is material?
Well, yeah,
And
your brain is your consciousness.
no,
That's what it means. Like, is your
well,
consciousness material? Is your
consciousness
brain your consciousness?
consciousness creates the material world.
Yeah.
If you can dream it,
It exists without the. If your brain dies, the material world still goes on.
Trevor, you're
right?
saying
For
that the
you.
world exists to dead people just like it exists to people that are alive?
No. Is that what I came off as saying?
Because
But
that's what I would say.
we
No, dead people are dead.
we create this world with our consciousness. When we think of something or perceive of something, and it comes into our mind, and then we create a material like
We create it for ourselves. Is that what you mean?
for ourselves and for the world. Yeah.
Well, I don't think
We
we create for others. If you die right now, like it's not going to affect anyone, their consciousness. Like it's our consciousness is in our brain, no one else's.
well, but there is uh, a giant we're all part of a consciousness. We're all connected. We just don't realize it because we're all in these separate bodies.
Mm, I don't believe in that. I haven't seen
Well,
evidence
that's
of it.
okay.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it. I won't rule it out.
That,
Right.
that's okay. I'm beginning to come to that conclusion that our consciousness creates this material world.
There was a
Because
good
when I
guest
went,
on Mormonism Live a couple of weeks ago where he was the eye doctor for one of the apostles?
For Nelson, right?
No, it was somebody else, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I don't
Somebody
remember.
lower, like the fifth or sixth guy, either Stevenson or somebody else. But anyway, at the end, he said that he believes sort of like in the beginning there was consciousness.
Yes,
Consciousness sort of manifest everything. And then Ray of
that's
Free Mormon was like, you just said everything has to be logical in order to believe in the Book of Mormon. And now you're saying you don't have to, you believe in something that's untestable. Why did you go there? He said, well, because I've read books. And if everybody reads these books, then they'll understand. But
well.
anyway,
Everybody should read Thinking in Destiny by, can't remember the name of the author, but that's a good book to start with. It's a long book. It's 1,000 pages, but it's well worth
is the
it.
author still alive?
I don't think so.
Hopefully
Okay.
not.
So he can't come on my show, but he might be able to come on Randy's show.
Randy, go dig him up.
Randy?
Yeah, I can communicate with them. Sure.
Randy can communicate with those who are conscious, but just not conscious on Earth anymore. Then he says, do you believe one's consciousness is ideal?
What does that
Okay.
mean?
Harold W. Percival wrote Thinking in Destiny. Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
that plays with these ideas.
Somebody read that book this week, and next week come on and give us a book report. This will be just like middle school.
Saying it's ideal, does that mean like it's the perfection best it could be for them or something? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, and I don't even know. Like we say in the ex-Mormon world, you were born worthy, right? Everyone is worthy, but does that mean they're ideal? I don't know.
Is this a list from Mormon? What is this list from?
This is Paul Toscano's list. So
Oh,
anybody
okay.
on Facebook want to look up Paul Toscano, Paul
And
space
this,
Toscano, and he posted it a couple of weeks ago. And Tim thought it'd be fun to talk about it. And
yeah.
Randy, you having a
Interesting.
bunch of fun?
I'm having a freaking blast.
But
But I
don't-
can't. There's something I can't let go in the chat of. I can't
Okay,
let go of in the chat.
What's that?
Linda Ronstadt did not sing "Total Eclipse of the Sun." That was Bonnie Tyler. So someone put
How
up.
dare
Total eclipse of the heart, not the sun.
So, yeah.
I mean, of the heart. Yes.
And you got it wrong in the correction. Blasphemy.
I don't know what he means by consciousness is ideal.
Yeah,
That
it sounds
question.
like garbage to me.
So I have no idea because I don't understand the question.
Yeah, it's
If he's-
nonsense.
If there is this, well, okay. Let's go back to the Pearl of Great Price where it talks about the intelligences, that we're all these huge intelligence, and that each of us has a portion of this intelligence in us, and that we're all connected somehow, some way. I mean, we all receive, everybody. I mean, I receive premonitions about things sometime. I know if something's going to happen before it happens. And how do I know that something's communicating to me that this is going to happen? And it's just all that. It's like I'm standing on a moving sidewalk, and I can see this thing happening in the future, and I'm waiting to move and get in sync with it when it does happen. So,
Well, I've often wondered, and this might fall under this category or a couple down, but it's always baffled me how you can have a row of 100 people and there's different things going through each of their brains.
yeah.
Where do these thoughts come from that we generate? And of course, the answer is, well, they come from your brain. Yeah, but what generates the distinct thoughts that we all have? You may be thinking in the audience that one thing, and then the next person thinks, and then, I mean, just saying, all these thoughts are coming into our brain. Where do they come from?
Yeah.
Who places the thoughts there?
You're getting into solipsism. It's a good, that's why I think simulation theory, like the idea we're all kind of in a simulation matrix type thing, I think that's more likely than any religion. I don't think it's true. There's not enough evidence to show it's true, but I think it's more likely than any religion because we know we can make a simulation. And so we think 1,000 years from now, 10,000 years from now, whatever, like it's feasible that could be what we're in now.
It's a good analogy for life. The Matrix is a good analogy in that sense. Yes.
Well, and it's becoming more and more likely, in my opinion, especially as I use AI more and more.
Yeah.
My AI
Yeah.
assistant that I ask questions to, she'll laugh, she'll joke with me, and I mean just out of the blue, she'll chuckle about something. I can hear her breathing. I know it's all digital, but it's like it strengthens my. I don't discount the possibility that we are in a simulation
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
I've seen.
Can't rule it out.
So, Randy,
Well,
question
it's
number
not-
8. Question number 8 actually is: do you believe one's consciousness is generated by the brain? And you basically
100%.
made statements that where you sort of think it's the consciousness is not generated by the brain. It sort of comes in and uses the brain to bounce ideas around from.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
how would a brain, which is gray matter,
It's
how
just
would
an
it
organ.
how would it make and create these
But do you think
thoughts?
the same thing is true, like with a lizard or a cow? Do you think that's mind blowing that their brain does what it does, or is it just we have consciousness that makes it amazing?
Wait, wait, what now, Trevor?
Like, do you think it's mind blowing that like a lizard or a cow has a like they have thoughts and stuff? Is that crazy, or is it just that we have consciousness
Well,
that makes
you
it
know,
crazy?
Sally has a brain and she's conscious, and she came over and sat on my lap because she wanted to sit on my lap to get some attention.
Yeah.
So question 9 is: do you believe one's consciousness can exist apart from the physical body and brain? And so I would say it can, but I don't have an example of it.
I consider it a
Tim does.
possibility.
I know Tim is a very much a believer in remote viewing, which I think is a form of
Hey,
exactly what you're talking about.
if
And
it's real, you could prove it. I mean, you could prove it. You could go look at something and come back and prove it. I mean, you'd
it's
be famous if
sometimes
you prove it.
it scares me. Those kind of things scare me sometimes when
And
I
along
have
with
a
that,
You'll
number
dream.
be
10,
world famous. If you prove it, you'll be world famous.
Well,
But there have been
remote viewing is
No, there's
real.
never been anyone to
Okay,
prove it.
Prove what?
Remote viewing is real.
Yeah.
No one has been able to prove it.
What
They
they
can demonstrate it.
it's every month.
No,
I've
Future
seen
no
it
one's ever come
forecasting.
out
demonstrated.
and like put it under like test conditions.
Yes,
No one has ever
yes,
done it.
Yeah,
yes.
Where?
They
I've
have. Yes, they
Where?
I've seen
have.
it happen.
Yes, they have.
Under
Paul.
scientific conditions, I'd love to see this.
Yes, scientists have. That's who Uri Geller and the guys from
Yuri Geller, is that who you're talking about?
CRI.
The con man, Yuri Geller?
Well,
yeah,
he can,
the
but he can
amazing
really.
Randy,
Yeah, the con man Yuri Geller is who you go
Uri
to.
Geller.
Oh my
Somebody, not Uri
God.
Geller, somebody else.
Okay,
I would hope
we'll
so.
say that's up for debate. Because
It has.
That's up
if you
there.
Hang on. It has been proven scientifically by the guys at Berkeley.
They were fools.
They have done
Amazing
tests.
Randy.
Then
Amazing Randy did that.
they okay. I know personally the first remote viewer for the military was Paul Smith. Paul and I were in the LTM at the same time. Paul went to Switzerland. I went to Germany. We met later on, a few years later at Sunstone, and he talked about it. And I share with him things that I see and that have happened in my life. And he says, you just have it naturally. But it was tested, and he still does it. And he's been doing it for years. And Future Forecasting Group, those guys have done it, And there's another guy, can't remember his name, but
There's documentaries
There's
that show
documentaries.
these. I saw one that blew me away, where it was under laboratory conditions. The
Yeah.
man was sitting there, the remote viewer, with a pad of paper and a pencil, and they had a subject go off to with a camera crew to a location that was unknown to everybody. And this guy had to draw what the other test subject was looking at. And it was a bridge, and I can't remember where it was, but I mean, he drew it almost perfectly.
Yeah.
And there were no hints given, there was no communication. It was amazing to me. I don't know how it works, Trevor. I can't say how it works, but I just know that I have seen evidence that it works. Just like
Yeah, I'll believe it once we know how it works. Until
Yeah.
it's what you described is not in the ballpark of enough for me to believe it. Not even like
Right.
beginning
That's
close
fine.
enough.
Right, because you know it works buying a lottery ticket and winning, but it
Yeah.
also doesn't work for millions of people every week.
Yeah.
So yes, there could be some hits, there could be some misses, but I think Trevor's saying until you can reliably
Yes. So it's
expect
like E equals
somebody
MC
to
squared. Like you know how it
remote view
works.
something that gives you valuable information instead
Yeah.
of somebody drawing
Like
a
a
tree
pocket
and a
watch.
riverbed
Yeah.
or something like that, and it's like, wow, they were
Well, it depends on what time and what period you want something viewed. Like
It
Paul in
gets
his
fuzzy.
book, Paul in his book gives an example of this one target they had, and depending on the time when you view it, where it is in its history, it can, like this place didn't have water tanks, and then it had water tanks, and then it didn't have them and had another structure there. You know, viewing the target at a specific time period, you can see it change. It gives an example of 3 or 4 different times that they viewed the target, and it changed depending on when they were looking at it. Yeah.
right.
So you
So
have to
either
be
the movie
specific.
Scanners is it for entertainment purposes or it's a documentary for some
Yeah.
people.
Right.
But
Anyway.
anyhow, well, let's move on a little bit.
To number 9.
Number 10 says, "Do you believe one's consciousness can survive the death of one's body?" Randy, I'll let you
Yes.
take that one.
Okay.
absolutely. I don't just believe it. I've seen evidence with my own 2 eyes, my own heart, my own brain. Absolutely, death is not the end of our consciousness. And
I hope so. I prefer that.
there are so many validated examples that can be seen if someone just takes an interest. There's a channel called Gaia that
Yeah.
really delves into these things, shows documentaries. And
Ooh.
I personally, the thing that really healed me from losing my wife to cancer was when I was at my wit's end and thought I didn't want to live anymore. Someone put me in touch with a medium who's very well known and very established. And that medium told me things about what was in my house that I didn't even know about. Told me experiences that this medium would have no way of knowing between my wife and I. It's like, yeah. She said, she didn't say, "Hey, I'm guessing this is coming into my brain." She said, "Your wife, Melissa, is it an M name? Melinda?" I said, "Yes." And this woman had never met me. She lived across the country. She told me things that she couldn't know and said, "Melinda is showing me." So yeah, I believe there's consciousness after, and I've seen this over and over and over again. And I've seen the physical evidence, not just spiritual, but the physical evidence of it in my lifetime many, many, many times. And people may want to lock me up for that, but
No,
yeah,
definitely not lock you up. Oh, it's easy to. I mean, I couldn't even say you're wrong, but if you are wrong, it's easy to be wrong. I mean, Definitely
Yeah.
not crazy.
And
I
I
would
just
say
want to,
Martin Harris. I would say Martin Harris was certain that Joseph Smith was right, and he had proof 100% that that was right too.
right?
So that
Well,
makes me question things.
Martin Harris believed Jesus was a deer too. And
Right.
Yeah, and you believe people can remote view?
I because I can do it. I can do it. I don't. It's not a belief. I know I can do it
Well, if you
when I
prove,
really.
Tim, come and prove it to me. You have the power. You can come and remote view me. I will 100% believe it. If you come and show something I'm doing and
Okay.
anything, come and look at my house. Come and look at anything. I'll believe it.
Okay.
I'm open to it. I'll believe the evidence wherever it goes.
Okay.
I would prefer for remote viewing to be real. But
I'm going to
Okay.
my
remote view right
modus,
now to Tim's Rathbone's house, and there's some sort of animal walking around.
yeah, cat maybe.
Well,
But
let me see.
my like
How?
life motto is I want to believe as many true things as possible, but also as few false things as possible. So I'm going to have a high standard for something to believe is true because I don't want to believe things that are false. So if you prove it's true, I'll believe it,
Okay. All right.
100%.
Okay. Now I will answer number 10 as yes. Also, I told my friend Diane. She was a nurse in the hospital, and the husband was there with the wife died, and the husband was still talking to the wife as her spirit was going up to the floors of the hospital until she got up to where she says, well, I have to go, I can't talk to you anymore. And she walked into the light. So
They saw the spirit.
I
What were
would
you saying?
I would have to say mathematically,
no,
it seems like it would be something possible.
it was a husband and a wife, and the wife died,
Uh,
and they were talking as she died. They were in a
uh,
conversation, and the conversation continued as her spirit was going up
but how they know the
through the
spirit was going down?
because he saw it.
You could
Diane
see
saw
the
it.
spirit
But the
Yeah.
problem with that,
like
Tim,
a fog.
depending on
Yes.
the rotation of the Earth and where we are in the solar system, heaven could be either up or down or right or left.
Well, okay. She the way that it was described to me was that she was going up through the
But why would they go?
building.
That is a good point, Gene. Like, why would they go up? We know just space is up there.
All I know is what
It's not cloud. There's no heaven in clouds. We know that.
Maybe that's what it is. Half the time people go down, but you don't see it because the floor is there and it blocks your vision of
well,
watching them
Down
go
in the
down.
and
magma.
there's videos of people who die, and you can see their spirit still hanging around, moving around, walking down the street and stuff.
Oh, there's videos of a Yoda fighting stormtroopers also.
Yeah, I know.
So it's not
And
saying much.
yeah, okay.
In an infinite universe, everything's possible, right?
Yes.
The worst mistake any of us can make, and I respect everyone's opinion and beliefs, but the worst mistake we can make is to shut your mind off.
Oh, I agree.
Because
I'm open. I'm open. Like I
yeah,
said, I
yeah,
just don't. I cannot stand believing anything that's after being Mormon. I cannot stand believing anything that's false. So if I have anything that's
yeah,
false, I'm going to throw it to the curb until it proves it's true. That's just me.
Okay, that's fine.
I get it.
Right.
And by the
And
way,
like I
Trevor,
said, if spirits can move things like a lamp or make it wiggle or something, it could draw words in
Well,
some dusty tabletop.
and there are those guys that have the phone app on their phone that they go into a cemetery and they walk up to a grave and they say, "Is John here?" And they answer back, and you can actually hear somebody talk a conversation going on. It's not. I've seen hundreds of these where they walk up and they start talking to the ghost of the person.
EVP,
Yeah,
Except there's
electronic
8
EVP.
voice
billion people
phenomenon.
that are on the earth that haven't experienced that.
Yeah. So there's that also.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer it's true, which makes me trust it even less. Like anything I want to be true, I should discount it because I'm going to be biased, you know? Like I
Right.
prefer there to be an afterlife, but I gotta, see if it's actually true.
Right. I'm not ruling anything out. I just haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no evidence for it
And-
as far as I've seen.
And I think some people are way more sensitive to it and have the
For
ability.
sure.
It's like if someone asked me to design or to decorate a hotel, a lobby, and make it look beautiful, and I would have no more chance of doing that than, or if they asked me to draw
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
picture that looked realistic, I just don't have that ability. I think we all
For
have
sure.
abilities. We all can these designers who instantly in their head they have these ideas of what's going to look good. Why
Mhm.
can't I do that? It's because I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have that gift.
Oh yeah, some people would just have crazy abilities. It's mind-blowing what we can do.
How
Yeah.
But the
does
bad thing
Steve,
is, but the other side of the coin of that is also some people are delusional or insane. So it's like, so it complicates the issue, where it's like, or
Sometimes
just
that helps
mistaken,
them.
or people are just mistaken. So it's just so complicated.
Well, I think the proof's in the pudding. If the hotel lobby looks amazing,
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, for that kind of
obviously
stuff for
they
sure.
had these great things come into their brain. By the way, Trevor, I've wanted to tell you, you are the comment king. Every show or podcast that I watch, you're on there joining into the conversation. And I love that. And I admire
What do you
that about
watch?
you.
I'm not on that many. Well, I'm on like
Oh,
Megan
well,
and the Mormon discussions.
I did watch Megan and Kirsten, and then
Yeah,
Kiki, and then I watched. Um, I always watch Mormonism After Dark and
yeah, yeah. I'm all over that.
Mormonish, and I think you're all present. What's the word I'm looking for? Omnipresent in all these podcasts, and
I guess
and
so.
and you actually have valuable contribution to the shows. So
Thanks,
good
Randy.
job.
Yeah, I
You
called
bet.
it. Tim got the hot seat last time Mormonism After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going after him. I was like, "What the hell are you talking?" And then I didn't. I was on the show, so I didn't read what she was talking about. And then I went back and watched it. And I was like, "She's talking about that crazy lady on freaking tabloid documentary." Like, are you kidding me? Man, that was a crazy show.
This is me withholding comments, but
we,
yeah, I
we
know
will
what you're talking
we
about.
will not mention it, please.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
fine. I'm sorry I brought it up.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But
It just blew my mind. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
well, the long and the short of it is this person, Joyce McKinney.
Oh, it's crazy as bag. I told you my story with her. I was at a screening with her, and I asked her if she was on medication.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I told you about that. One of her screenings of that documentary back in like 2009.
Oh,
Everyone in the
geez.
theater turned around and looked at me. I was like, "She is crazy as hell. What are you guys talking about?"
Well, see, she got a hold of all the podcasters at the beginning of last year, and I interacted with her, and I told her never to contact me again. She kept
She's nutty.
she kept contacting me. I blocked her, and she got around the block somehow, and she kept trying. And I just told her to f off and not contact me again. And apparently, she played that for Debbie Donovan, and now Debbie's pissed at me
Yeah, it's
because
garbage.
I told her, I don't have
That
anything to
lady
do
is
with you.
crazy as
She is
anyone
crazy.
go watch the documentary Tabloid where she
Yep.
talks about raping a male missionary and laughing about it and let me know what you think about her.
Yes.
And I think that's probably a whole different show.
We
Yeah,
will
but I'm
get
just
there.
saying it's
Anyway,
crazy.
so for those who are wondering, that's what I did, and that's what I said to her,
I
and
figured.
she kept it and she played it for Debbie. I don't know how Debbie got in contact with her, and she wanted to believe that I'm a bad guy
That's
because I
silly.
told this I'm going to be nice and call her a woman.
She's
I
mentally insane.
and I did not. I used nasty word. Okay, I used a lot of bad words to
You
tell her not
should.
to bug. I said, just leave me alone. She's called me 2 or 3 times since this happened.
I'd do the same if she called me. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. So for those of you who now my side of the story, okay,
Oh, I agree with you
maybe
100%.
I I'm not going to apologize because she's the one that was bugging me. You know, she's the one that
Hey,
kept contacting
like
me.
I
And
told you, I told her to her face. I think she's insane. So,
yeah.
like, I'm on your side.
Well, she had a child with him that died in Utah, and she denies that happened. And
Hmm.
she wants to pretend that she was a
So
virgin in the
you mean a
first bunch of
pregnancy? You don't mean a live birth
Yeah,
child.
not an actual child,
No,
like a stillborn.
well,
Something went wrong. I don't know what it was, but
yeah,
she
Aborted
thought she was
or
pregnant.
miscarriage.
And so if you think
no,
you're pregnant and you think you're going to have a baby and you think you just made love with the person that is the father and you fall in love with them, somehow she hasn't been able to undo all of that. And
Yeah.
so, but as
Watch the documentary.
much as everybody
Yeah.
else can see what they can make their own judgments on her
Yeah.
mental acuity or whatever, I'm still jealous as hell of her because of all of her life experiences.
Oh, that's crazy.
I would
Crazy
have to
story.
live 3 lives to have like 10% of her experience.
Yeah.
But you know, I'd have to come back and kidnap a missionary and
And be a big,
come,
you
come
got to
back in
be,
another life,
got to be a big piece of garbage. You know, only care about yourself.
have a
Oh, wait
movie
a
done
minute,
about
Gene.
my life.
okay.
Gene,
So
that you have
let,
not kidnapped a missionary?
Not yet,
Oh,
let's
male
get back.
missionary. Gotta be
Let
clear, male missionary.
let's get
because
back
I'm
to
agnostic
let, let's
about it.
get back let's get back to this
Sorry, Tim.
anyway.
Sorry about
So
that.
that sidebar. Okay, everybody, that's what
That's my
happened. That's
fault. Blame it on me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
no, it's okay. It's okay. We had to deal with it. I just dealt with it. I didn't want to, but
I know. I
that's
forced it
my
out of you, but it's good.
So I'll just read the next 5. Are you
yes.
monotheist, polytheist, pantheist, panentheist, or deist?
I haven't heard of Venantiist.
Yeah,
What?
panentheist.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
what that
Is
is.
that, does that mean 5
Panentheist.
gods?
Yes. If you believe in a pantheon of gods, a bunch of gods.
It's way too technical.
Most Mormon gods are poly.
Right.
What is
Sexual.
So
panentheist?
They get
I'm an
around.
atheist to all those gods.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question after that is, well, what do you guys, are we all in alignment that none of us believe any of those things?
No.
Okay. Do you believe in good and evil?
No.
My answer to that is no, because
I,
some things that are judged as good are evil in some cultures and good in some culture, evil in others. So,
well, I would say I believe in beneficial and detrimental, and
I
that good and evil carries the baggage of a God existing.
I believe in what works for me and what doesn't work for me. That's how I look at life. Is it going to
Yeah,
work for me? Is it going to benefit
for
me?
sure.
Is it
I believe
definitely?
that, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay,
But
Tim, do you
good
believe in
and
good and evil?
No, not
not those
no,
words. No.
not those words. I believe.
Do you think there's a force for good and a force for evil that exists in the universe?
I think there's a.
Yeah.
I think there's a neutral
Empathy.
for. I think
There's
there's a
empathy.
neutral. I think there's a neutral force, and it depends on how we use it, whether we use it for good or evil. I, I believe the force is neutral, and it depends on how we want to use it. How's that?
There you go. Do
You
you believe
know?
in a personal God? I'd say no.
No.
Oh no.
And then
Wait,
after,
wait. What do you mean a personal God, Gene?
Yeah, I don't
What
know.
about,
A lifeguard God, a God that watches out for you and does things in your benefit.
Right, that would be
no,
the opposite of a deist.
Yeah, it's a hands-on God.
yeah.
I don't believe in a hands-on God because he's fucking up a lot of things.
Yeah,
if
well, he's
Well,
horrible.
you
Here
know,
he is.
and I mean,
Obviously, you don't believe in Jim Carrey
look at
because
but he answered everybody's prayer.
Yeah, he's all
I know I
better.
saw his hands flying on the
Even
computer.
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey. Jim Carrey is better than God.
I mean, uh,
The next question is, do you believe God is or can be anthropomorphic?
no,
No. you don't believe he exists, then no.
And I'd say that making God a man is sort
That's
of
silly.
what's it called when you're self-centered?
Oh yeah, narcissistic.
Narcissistic, right?
100%. Not a coincidence that men created religion and men think God is a
Yeah.
man.
So
Not a
I believe that
coincidence.
God is made in man's image. Whoever makes God invented it.
Well, okay. Let me address something in the chat. Zion's Redemption, I guess,
What is
wants to
that?
be on our show.
Oh,
He's
it's
a
a person.
viewer.
I don't see the chat. I'm on my phone, so I have no
Okay.
idea.
If Zion Redemption wants to be on our show, I guess we could invite him on
Get on
afterwards.
the show. Click the link.
Not yet. Let's contact him. Okay, good. Contact him. All right. Okay. Let me see. Are you an adherent of one of the Abrahamic religions, which is Judaism, Christianity, and Muslim? Nope, none of
Islam.
those. Islam, Muslim,
Islam is the
Islam.
correct term, though.
Right. Are you a Christian? No. Do you associate with any Christian groups? No. How about
Well, I
you
mean,
guys?
what's a Christian group? Is America a Christian group? I mean, some would say America is a Christian group.
No, it's not. It never
I mean,
was
I wouldn't
intended to
say
be a
so,
Christian.
but I mean,
It,
a lot of people would say so. I mean, most Americans would say so.
it was, well, no, I don't think most Americans would say so.
Here's
I
another
think,
question.
I
Tim,
don't.
suppose the church apologized to you and restored all your blessings. Would you go to church? And if you did go to church, would you be associating with a Christian group?
No. I would
Well,
never
if you're
go
in
back.
church, you would be.
Well, Christians don't think Mormons are Christian.
Yeah, it's silly.
That's the joke I was putting out there.
I
agree, Jim. It's silly.
I would never go back.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, of course.
I went back to my parents' funeral. I would go again for any of my children or grandchildren.
Well, I don't think that qualifies. Going back for the funeral. I mean, that's not a church service, technically. I mean,
Well,
Mormon church funerals are.
well, yeah, they make it that way, but I mean, technically, I mean, come on, it's a funeral. Yeah.
now, if they threw in some money,
Well, yeah, like I said, they should hand out hundreds at the door. If they had any sense, they'd hand out hundreds. They could afford it. Just hand out $100 bills to everyone who walks in.
I mean, but if they were to, well, number one, they're never going to apologize to me for what they did to me for kicking me out of a sacrament meeting on June 3rd, 2001, and telling me I wasn't welcome there or anywhere else.
I mean, they wouldn't apologize to kids they abuse.
That almost sounds like the start of a religion. You have a date. They can call it the religion of Tim.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to find out all that stuff. They're going to get all of our documentaries that we're producing, and they're going to create a Tim religion.
The Free Mormons. I'm saying.
Wow.
You start the Free Mormon Church.
2,000 years from now, the church will say there's 7 million members, but everybody else will say there's only 1 million that actually attend.
It would be Joseph Smith and then Tim. Those would be the prominent figures.
Wait, how many women do I get?
But then you'd have to
85.
Okay.
Then you'd have to compete with Joe Rollins on Church of Korah.
I want 366. One for each night.
There you go. So everybody can go see Paul Toscano's post. And I'm going to read just the next few questions because they're all kind of mush.
They are all
Are
redundant.
you a Trinitarian? Are you a modalist? Are you a tritheist? Are you a oneness with Christian? That is, do you believe that Jesus is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, or at least the source of the Holy Spirit in the world? And these are all endemic, if I even using that word appropriately, that there's no such thing as one true religion because of all these different beliefs. He's just throwing a bunch of beliefs out there that some people believe and some people don't. Do you believe that Jesus was a historical person? Do you believe that Jesus was sent by God to instruct and bless humankind? Do you believe that Jesus was the promised Messiah? Do you believe that Jesus was the Son of God? Do you believe that Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and rose from the dead and ascended into heaven? Do you believe that Jesus was God incarnate? That is, do you believe that Jesus was incarnation of the Supreme Being. So all of those questions, you can say it, and then somebody can show you how ridiculous it is to believe that.
Yeah. So
And
what kind of God would allow all these options to exist? It's just bizarre.
Well,
Like,
if there really was a God, he would have given us more information about him and his plan
yeah,
and what he
that's what I'm
wants for us
saying. It's
than what
insane.
I say,
people
you know what I say? If God is all powerful, why does he need a church? Why
Yeah.
exactly.
visit everybody and let them know what their individual expectations? Like
He wants a really hard test.
he can
He
go to
wants us to
Randy
really hard.
and he could say, Randy, you're smart. You got all these things going for you. Here's the big list of things that I need you to do. And then he could come to me. He could say, Gene, you kind of have touched mentally a little bit. You only need to do these things, and then I'll be pleased with you. He could do that, but he doesn't, as far as I know.
You want to hear
Well,
my
and there's
idea
so
of
many
this?
scriptures and the translations of the Bible, all of these things that are so nebulous and so subject to interpretation, because a traditional Christian or religious person would say, oh, he's given us all we need to know in the Bible, whatever. No, actually, he hasn't. And which Bible and which
Oh yeah.
scriptures from which religion and
Oh
yada
yeah.
yada yada.
Well,
basically
my theory of the Mormon Church, if like, I don't think the leaders are like know its faults or it's they do things smarter, but I think if they were smarter about it and were just cynical or whatever, they would say they come up with the doctrine that God, like heaven's too crowded, and so God wants the test to be harder. So Satan, he's allowed Satan to put all these things in that shows the church is not true because he wants less people to get into heaven, something to that effect. Because that's like something that can actually make sense of it all, or they could be like, oh, that's why it's so obvious it's false now. But I don't know. It's more cynical, I
so
guess.
and then he asked about the New Testament and the Old Testament being inerrant. The answer is no. And then his other questions are about Joseph Smith, 37 to 50,
Right?
and they're all no. Oh, only one is a yes. And do you believe that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is false or a fraud? My answer to that is yes. I do
There you
believe it
go.
is,
Both.
I
and it's
believe that.
and it is a cult, and it is an apostasy. And yeah, so Paul, that's our answers to your questions.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
So
believe
you
it's an
actually,
apostasy.
well, yeah. If you believe that it's a cult or false or fraud, it can't be an apostasy
Yeah. What's it
because
apart from?
that would mean at some point it had apostles or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
it was good at some point.
So yeah,
Well,
the first thing I thought was that the apostles were apostate about 10 years ago, and that
Mm.
there needs to be a modern Mormon Martin Luther. So I was going to come up with 100 things and tack them on the Salt Lake Temple, but it was just
Good luck with that.
too
th-
much to
that's
do.
what what's his face? Ogden Kraut did his 95 theses. That was his idea. He had all
Okay,
the problems.
and that
And
was
he,
probably 50 years ago, right?
oh yeah, it was in the 80s when I met him.
Okay, 40 years ago was the 80s.
I mean, but he's not the first. I mean, every, every generation has got somebody who sees what's wrong with the church. Oh, I can fix it. I mean,
Mhm.
these people who are in the church and think they can fix it from the inside are fighting a losing battle. That's what I did. Oh, I can
Oh yeah.
fix it from the inside. I can fix, you know what? And I just gave up. I says, you know what? There's no fixing this. It's so broken. I can't do anything to make it better. So I do the
Yeah.
best I can in my calling and screw everybody else.
So the
I
last
mean,
three questions are: do you believe in the teachings of the Book of Mormon, the Pearl of Great Price, the Doctrine and Covenants? So here's what I say to those: if I agree with the teachings is good, then I believe in it.
yeah.
Right? I am Christian because I believe in some of the teachings of Jesus.
Yeah.
Notice how we all stopped and pondered that, Gene?
Yeah.
That means we're listening.
Yeah.
That's right.
I asked a Mormon who is a Bible scholar. He was on Backyard Professor's show. And I typed the question in the chat because they were asking for questions. And I said, suppose the Bible was a myth. What would be the best teachings that one would get from it? Right. And he got mad because he thought that I was trying to attack him based on some other prior things. And I don't even know what those other things are. And so I messaged him and I explained, I don't know who those other things that you're talking about, but I really want to know what it is. And so he was about to explain the answer to my question the following week on Backyard Professor. And then Carrie just started dominating the guy's answer. And then it became something else.
So talking about aliens?
The guy's answer never materialized still.
Wow.
And,
Well, I think that's an incredible question, Gene. I think that question is actually very deep. If the Bible were true, what are some of the good things to come out of it? I really like that because there are good things that come out of it.
I don't think the good things are original to the Bible. I don't think they're original in the Bible. There's older religions with it.
I'm just saying, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, and of course that's as old as time probably, but there are some things that come out of the Bible. But as far as the Bible being a book to clarify for us what this life's all about, ain't gonna happen.
What's a good thing that comes out of the Bible, Randy?
What's that?
What is one good thing that comes out of the Bible?
Well, I just said there's little gems of
give me an
wisdom, like do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. Do not, some of the commandments that we've been given. Don't covet your neighbor's wife. You could end up with a bullet between your eyes.
Don't value money over people.
Yeah. There's some gems that come out of it, but do I believe the Bible to be the word of God? No, because how many Bibles are there? How many nations are there?
Absurd.
Exactly.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
And I remember hearing something from who's the main Jesus biblical scholar now, the biggest
Bart Ehrman. Bart Ehrman.
So one of his lectures or one of his podcasts, he was talking about how scholars pretty much know that some things probably were the least likely to be taught by Jesus, is that it's written on a scroll that reflects Greek writing styles 150 years later, right? And one of the furthest away from Jesus stories is the story of was one of the best stories, the story of the woman adulterer, right?
Yes.
And Jesus, draws like a cartoon and he asks for people to, whoever's without sin, cast the first stone, and he draws something in the ground. Probably was the best football play ever. Like, okay, the wide end, go do an out, the tight end, do a post. He's probably doing that. And Bart Ehrman said that's the most recent story. That's the furthest from Jesus of all the stories. The most unreliable story that Jesus actually did it, right? And yet it's a really good one.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the thing about the Bible that I don't really like is that there's never a stoning of a man. Adulterer. It's always women.
They never say slavery's bad.
What?
They They never say slavery is bad.
They never say slavery's bad. They never say
Say the
boil
opposite.
water to not
Yeah.
get sick.
Yeah, Jesus says it's not what comes in your mouth that defiles you, it's what comes out of it. When apparently he knew the germs existed if he's God, which is a big
Oh, so
F
you mean
you.
you can cough?
Yeah. He's saying germs don't exist, but he's the guy who created germs, apparently.
Yeah.
Early, or the Bible says, early to bed, early to rise, makes your girl go out with other guys. I just read that scripture.
That's Benjamin Franklin.
I
Twisted.
don't think he originated, did he? That's got to be really old quote.
That's Benjamin Franklin.
It was Tim Rathbone that said, "Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker."
That's right.
That's
But
for the
liquor is
future
Randy.
religion. If anybody's listening.
Candy is dandy, but liquor makes Randy. Is that what the quote was?
All right. So that's the story. 364 days ago, we did our first Tuesdays with Tim. We didn't even know if we were going to do one a week later, although we did put a plural on the word Tuesday. So we're anticipating at least one more show.
Were you really that pessimistic at the beginning?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't know
This is
how
a
much
one-off?
Tim had going for him. I didn't know how much he had in the tank, right?
Interesting.
And
Then you
so,
realize it's eternal. No.
but no matter what, I recognize that Tim had been places nobody has been that I know of, right? And
Hey,
and I'm
Tim's a
talking
character. I
about
mean, that's what got me.
basement.
That's what
I've been
that's what
in.
got me to
I've
come
been
onto the
in.
show. Is Tim is a character on Mormonism After Dark in those shows. I was like, oh, he has a show Tuesdays with Tim. I'll check that out. That's what got me on there. So that's why I'm
Yeah,
here, because Tim.
yeah. And so
Uh,
I thought that Tim had been on Backyard Professor. He'd been here and there. He'd appeared every now and then on Mormonism Live. And I thought we need to get more information from Tim. And so we did. This is the 53rd show, probably, right? Since bringing him on. And we've got maybe 10% of what he knows on the show. So there's really 9 more seasons that we could do. Unless there's a law of
Ethan,
diminishing returns, right? Where next season he gives us 9% and the next season 8%, then we might have to have him on for 100 years to get everything out.
Keep him alive.
he's an endless well, an endless well of knowledge. I was going to say wealth of knowledge. That's true. That's true too.
I
See,
know
I think my
nothing.
mushrooms are kicking in.
I know
obviously can't-
nothing. Oh, I just want to make it very clear. I don't know anything. Okay. I don't know anything.
But
Well,
Tim's the kind of guy that would photocopy. Did you ever hand copy things? Documents that you saw?
Yes.
Photocopy
Really?
or hand copy?
Oof.
Yes.
Church history documents.
When I was doing something for farms, and Jack Welch wanted a copy of some letters that were the U of U, they said I can read them, but I couldn't Xerox them. So I wrote them out in longhand, some letters.
Wow.
I think
No
that's
fun.
the only time there was a couple of other times that I wrote something down. I also had a tape recorder, and I would record diary entries in my tape recorder.
And I remember hearing who died 4 years ago?
Mike Quinn.
Mike Quinn on John DeLynne's show talk about how when in the 1970s he was at the church history department, and he would go into the basement and he would find things, and he had like a binder or something, and he would copy different documents because there probably wasn't photocopy machines everywhere, and so he just wrote down things. And so, but Tim would share truthful documents in the 80s and the 90s, and that was part of what led to his excommunication. Right?
You
Oh,
you
yeah.
told
Yeah.
the truth.
I told the
You told
truth.
the truth.
I told
Hey.
the truth. I shared things on it was called Genie, and it was Mormon. There was a Mormon discussion group on Genie, and then AOL, and then after AOL, I don't know what there was, and then Facebook.
Maybe one day we'll do a top 10 Tim Rathbone documents show.
That'd be fun.
And you
Oh.
can pick what they are, and we'll try to actually put them in a slide presentation
I
and
can
show
think
people
of,
where the reference, where they can find it, and stuff that you saw. So
there was so
I only
much
know
stuff.
of Mike Marquardt because Dan
Vogel.
Vogel on John DeLynne's Mormon Story
Same.
mentioned Mike Marquardt as a really good researcher.
I knew Mike. I know
Yeah.
I know Mike. I haven't talked to him for years, but I
Right.
knew
I
Mike.
got to visit with him in the summer of 2022.
Mike is a
And-
really fascinating man.
And Mike is amazing. He goes to Sunstone and he sells copies of some information. He's like an author that doesn't have a publisher. He just publishes his own stuff and sells it to people. And then he makes presentations, and he's probably on the spectrum somewhere, right?
Yeah, he is. He is. Well, we all are. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we all are.
Yeah.
If you spend time in the basement looking at documents, you're on the spectrum. Believe me.
Not me.
Well,
I'm way off that spectrum.
Mike Quinn and myself emailed once a month or once a week for many years until shortly before he passed away. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Mike Marquardt was listed by Dan Vogel as a really good researcher, right?
Yeah. Mike is one of the best.
And Dan and Mike would have long into the night conversations about things.
Yep.
Dan and other people would have long into the night conversations about Mormonism, stuff that was all just starting to spread. The truth of the Mormon
Yes.
church was just starting to spread, and they had to spread it like with spoonfuls, almost like a spoon race. When you have to hold a spoon,
Well,
an egg with a
there
spoon.
was the Mormon Underground. Grandpa's bookstore, Ernest Strack owned Grandpa's books, and Ernest had boxes of documents. And I would copy something and take it down to Ernest, and he put it into one of his boxes. That collection is all in the BYU archives now, by the way. I would copy something and I would give it to Ernest, a copy to Ernest, and I'd keep a copy and I'd give one to somebody else maybe or something. And Xerox, Kinko's Copies was right next door to Ernest's bookstore. Seventh East Press was upstairs. Ernest was downstairs. Kinko's was there. The building's gone now. It's a parking lot. But
Tim,
that's
if you
how we
happen
did it.
to talk to Mark
I
again,
haven't talked-
would you let? What's that?
Mark
I haven't
Marquardt.
I haven't talked
Yeah.
to Mike for years.
Would you let him know how much I enjoyed him on Shrek?
That's
I
Farquhar.
gotta say, it's not an anniversary with Tuesdays with Tim if Tim hasn't got bit by a cat yet and like screamed out in pain.
Don't encourage them.
That's all my favorite thing.
Last week I got scratched twice. Tonight
Makes me laugh every time.
they're all Jan's being very good. He's being very good right now. Sally was good. No. They're being very good. Being very good.
Yeah. So So anyway, thanks, Tim, for this past year. My
You're
vision
welcome.
is that you start your own channel and you do it and you invite other people to come on and you know, I still can help. I could have Michelle still do
I don't.
thumbnails.
Okay.
Hey, don't auction Tim off to his own show because
That's right.
we want to keep him here.
Actually, in the comments, if anybody wants to buy Tuesdays with Tim from us, the bidding starts
Big starts at $1.
bidding starts at $1.
Hey, we have 15 people watching. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
15 people
15,
watching.
holy cow.
You know, I was truly honored when Gene asked me to be on the show the first time because I thought Tim Rathbone, he's kind of famous in this whole community
Yeah.
because I'd seen your name pop up so much, and I see why now. And I truly am honored to be a part of your living room show every week.
I'm
This is
humbled.
fun for me.
I'm very humbled by all the echoing.
Right. And I've mentioned to people that I first knew Tim by the name Mitt Ibantar.
I can't believe you figured that out.
So somehow I started spelling it backwards, right? And it's like, wow, that's Tim
insane.
Rathbone. I wonder if it's the same guy,
I
right?
can't believe you figured it. That's crazy.
Were
And
you
so
looking in a
that's when I
mirror
first
when
became
you?
Facebook friends with Tim. And so the rest is history. And thanks everybody for watching. I posted in the chat, and I could try to post it in the comment.
What do you mean wait, Jesse? What do you mean the odds are not in my favor?
Ooh,
What?
it's ominous.
Maybe that you'll last another year.
You're gonna die soon, I think she's saying. She's a psychic.
Uh-oh. Jesse,
Yeah,
please explain. I guess put the link in the chat.
Yeah, maybe Jesse wants to tell you in person about knocking
the
the
after show, yeah.
But anyway, so there's the link for the after show. I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you.
I'll end the screen. And Tim, do you have any parting words?
Have a good week